that I've been reading. Well deserved, I'd say, so far.
Both teams trying to settle in midway through the opening quarter. On the perimeter, there he is again. This time he misfires. And Mikey Williams in the open floor, you gotta like that. On the perimeter, 3-ball in the air, it's short, long rebound.
We expected a fast pace, but it's super fast, Charles.
Pull-up jump shot, front iron no good, tipped out by Green into the hands of BFL, and they'll get a third try in close. A whistle means a foul.
Good effort by Williams there. Another look at that jump shot we just saw from Allensbach as he knocks that one down. A 6'8" player with a great deal of maturity, knocking that one down from the mid-range.
Substitution off of North Carolina's bench, number 3. That's Clay Robinson, backup guard, and a defensive stopper. So Williams with the first 2 opportunities from the stripe, knocking those home. Nearly a steal, and now it's back. Down low. The 7-footer knows what to do with it.
What a great pass, too, from Allensbach, setting up Curtis with that aggressive dunk on the inside. He's 7 foot, but he has a developed body and confident on the post.
Curtis picks up the foul down on this end, though.
Here's another look. That great pass from Allensbach. BFL prep could not get over in time, and an aggressive finish by Curtis at the rim. You know what I'm excited for, Charles? I can't wait I hope this game ends up being close down the stretch, because I want to see Banchero and Mikey Williams one-on-one against each other. I want to see that in a pressure cooker situation. I hope we get a tight one here down the stretch.
He knocks down a pair of free throws here. Get his first points of the game. Come at the 2:56 mark. And the lead is extended out to 9 now, 16-7. Mikey Williams with the pull-up. In rhythm, nope. Front iron, no good, and rebounded. Pulled out of there by Losay. Dribble penetration and a kick for a wide-open 3.
Banchero there fighting for that rebound, and some of his last few games, he's just been outstanding. 38-6, 42 and 11, 29 and 13. He's not just going to score for you. He's going to attack the rim and pick up every loose ball possible.
Now he's feeling the pressure of that defensive force out there in Robinson, but they get it in close. Follow-up is up and good.
That was set up beautifully there. Good finish from Williams, but I love the aggressiveness there from Losay, taking that one right at the rim, attacking there, and hanging in the air, taking some contact as well.
Williams now with 6. Christopoulos with 8 to lead the way for BFL. Nice drive and a finish by Trey Green.
Well, Coach McCarthy says he is a playmaker, and on display just now. What a great pass right there.
Pull up 3, no good. And now they're looking to run. Mikey's on the left. Bounce pass deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Williams.
Here's another look. You see the great crossover, drawing the contact. Green hangs in the air, and an impressive finish around the rim. Mikey Williams taking a seat, and what else can you say about this guy? You've seen him play already. This is my first time, and I'm just excited to see what this game is going to emerge into as the evening develops. Some fantastic talent. We're seeing it already here. A very fast pace, but these two teams can handle that because they have the high basketball IQ and the athleticism to do so.
Pull up. A little strong on that jump shot by Bullock. And now they're running. There's a steal. Haggerty into the front court. Bounce pass. And now the drive. Basket wouldn't fall, but headed to the line will be Bullock.
It's a good way to get yourself back in this ball game here. Haggerty setting things up, a nice bounce pass, and Bullock attacks, takes it right into the body of Malik Arrington and heads to the line. Bullock is an energy guy. That's what Coach McCarthy says about him. And he actually calls him the best one-on-one defender on the team. That's high praise because in speaking with McCarthy, he had a lot of confidence in his team's defensive ability in this game. He says, we're a man-to-man team mainly, but when we're locked in, nobody can score on us.
Haggerty now with a tough assignment against Sylvester. Rebound pulled down. Robinson wants to run to the foul line, all the way to the rack with the scoop. No.
See, that's how you do it. When you've got confidence in your ability in the open court or in the half court, watch Robinson here. He's got a full head of steam going straight into the body and drawing the contact for that foul.
Robinson at the line for the first time, and he knocks down a pair.
NC Storm weathered the early storm there, and they've chipped away at this lead some, Charles.
Yeah, they've actually have 7 off the bench for those pair of guards, and now they're running again on the wing. Step through and a jump shot on the way, no.
Well, Bullock likes to drive it and distribute it. That time he had a pretty good look. Can't blame him for the look. Just couldn't knock that one down from the outside.
Shot clock is off. Final 10 seconds of the opening quarter. Banchero. And that'll do it. The team from Seattle got off to a fast start, and they lead it by 5 at the end of the opening quarter play. Stay tuned for much more of the battle at the Rock as it continues right after this. At the Rock, from the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. Ahmad Brody and Charles McNeil courtside for this one. North Carolina versus Seattle, Washington in this contest. The white-cladded team are the Storm. And with the basketball is their young superstar, Mikey Williams. To the free throw line is a steal. And here we go. Banchero to the basket. He lays it up and in.
A relatively quiet first quarter for Paulo, but why do you need to make so much noise when you're getting great contributions from John Christopoulos?
Williams wanting to get on the board. His teammate tips it up. No good. And there's a steal. There's a foul out at the perimeter. Slow things up.
2010, Jordan Henson.
And that foul will be assessed against Jordan Hanson.
Another look at Paulo here, and I thought he was going to flush this thing, Charles, but a little defense coming from J.P. Haggerty there to slow him down, but Banchero knows what to do with those at the rim, I'd say.
What do you expect out of him at Duke on Tobacco Road, nearby Tobacco Road?
Coach K is already high on him. He's already been in communication with him, looking at the All-Star game and talking about how LeBron James is a point forward and how that'll sort of be what his game ends up looking like, Banchero, once he gets to Durham.
He's a big guy.
They could use him right now, too, by the way.
There's a drive, reverse move, follow up, inside is good. Putting that one home is Hanson. His first field goal, and right back the other way, wasting no time, are the Storm, as that one's tipped out of the hands of Curtis and out of bounds.
Foul number 0. Darion Williams is first.
Looking at Mikey Williams, and we just talked about Paulo. Mikey, 77 points in a game, you said?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
As
I couldn't score
as a
7.
freshman.
Oh, my gosh. I couldn't score 7, Charles. He is a marvelous player. One of the things that you speak with Coach McCarthy, he does not like when the comparisons are made. Some folks have said Allen Iverson, some folks have said Donovan Mitchell, and McCarthy says, listen, let this guy play. We believe in his ability, and he wants to be the best possible player he can be.
That shot was short by Williams. Williams had 6 in that first quarter. Leading scorer was Christophilus with 8. He led the way on both sides. Bullock leading the way for the Storm. As they get it down low, it's rejected inside. And now they're running back the other way. The Storm have it. The 3-on-2 if they hurry. There's the lob. And a great steal. Pulled in there by Losay. Wraparound pass. Now the pull-up. High archer comes up short. And they're running back the other way. This is Allen Speck to the basket. Finds Curtis on the wing, and there's a whistle. They're going to call a block inside.
Losay's had an active quarter, but these guys are playing like it's the All-Star game. Take another look here at Allen Speck. A little bit of a bump. Doesn't like the call, but it happens like that sometimes. But I love the pace. Fantastic pace here to start this game.
Yeah, we've seen Banchero on the bench a little bit. We've had Mikey Williams on the bench. What do you think that they assessed as they were on the sideline watching the back and forth flow?
Well, the flow has been so hectic. It's been so busy. But I think it's early, obviously, and you've got support. Christophilus has had an impressive half. And I think both these two players, Banchero and Williams, are feeling it out a little bit, trying to distribute and set up the offense. But second half is coming. And I look for an enormous performance from both these two players, getting to the rim and knocking down shots from the outside.
You mentioned in our conversations prior to coming on air that you were here for the last event back in December, and in that event, there were some professional athletes that came out to support the youngsters.
There were indeed, and I'm so hurt because I missed LaMelo Ball by one night. I called the Thursday night event back in December here at the Battle at the Rock Showcase. LaMelo showed up Friday. He must have known I was not going to be here and wanted to show up to make sure he missed me. But the Stars have been out here to see some fantastic high school and pre-college athletes perform at an extremely high level.
Yeah, they certainly have, and we're looking forward to much more. This is the 5th largest city in the state of South Carolina, just a short drive by car or truck to the Queen City. About 15 minutes away from downtown Charlotte. You get a chance to watch the Hornets play Michael Jordan's team. And, of course, the NBA on the All-Star break. We're going to keep our Star Watch in full effect throughout the game, just in case some of the Hornets made it back into town. Many of them visiting with family, and we know they're enjoying some of this action. So we thank you so much, NBA greats, for tuning in and welcoming in the young stars of tomorrow.
I'm sorry about that, Charles. I will say that having events at this event center just really gives it another level of panache, another level of gravitas as well. This is a beautiful facility. Just my second time here.
Mikey Williams on the perimeter. Slip pass. Now they find a wide open teammate. Fernald to the basket. No good. The whistle. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Haven't heard much from Fernald in this game. But McCarthy says he gets the offense moving. It's a high basketball IQ, and he is a vocal leader on this team. There you have a look at Coach McCarthy just a moment ago.
He rattles that one off, no good.
Shane Noel checking back in for BFL prep. And you know, the other thing that I love watching these players, their shoe game is so on point. Shane Noel's shoes are marvelous. Mikey Williams' shoes are marvelous. I can't dress like that.
Part of the personality comes out in that shoe game for sure.
Yes, it does.
Slip pass, extra pass leads to a slam.
See, the initial backdoor cut and the feed there set all of that up beautifully. Great sharing of the basketball by BFL prep.
Shane Noel with the two-hand flush.
That takes you from the offensive end to the defensive end. It turns that defensive pressure up. You get a lot of energy when you see the ball going on one end. You're able to get back and set your defense up the way you want to and make life hectic for your opponent.
Trey Green with the deep pull. Board pulled out of there by Williams. He's in traffic, loses it, goes to the floor to Bonchero. No look pass inside. Count the basket and a foul.
One of the other compliments that everyone gives Paulo Banchero is his court vision. First of all, great hustle to get that loose ball. Banchero turns the head on the pass and shares it with Christopoulos, who finishes with ease and takes the contact.
We talked about shoe game. What do we think about Christopoulos' kicks?
Sharp. They are sharp. The socks are even as sharp as the shoes are. But his game's been sharper than the shoes or the socks here this evening.
You get it down low to Curtis. His jump hook in close. Comes up shy. Kept alive. AJ. And now Mikey from a deep pull-up.
Mikey may have been a little too deep with that one. Let's see if NC Storm can get something back going towards the rim. You don't want to settle. BFL Prep's defense has been stout, but you don't want to settle for long jumpers if you don't have to. You've got the athleticism to try to move the ball towards the rim, let Mikey create an attack and maybe draw contact, if not score two from in close.
Bonchero sends his man down low. Now he wants to manipulate and pull up. Yes.
Come on. Come on. Versatility on display. I can stop, pop, and knock them down with the best of them.
Allen Speck to Allen Speck. They get the board, now they're running. Banchero kicks. Noel from deep. Yes.
Oh, the court vision from Banchero. Christopoulos, it's rare that you see that kind of confidence.
Correction to your right. That was Christopoulos on that deep drive and pull up. And then return action is Allen Speck inside.
That's what the Storm is going to have to do. They're going to have to get things towards the rim. Look at how this lead is increased here. We talked just a little bit ago about how NC Storm was sort of chipping at the lead, and now it's up to 17.
Yeah, I think it's all about the tempo, it seems. Touched on the fact that they like to run up and down the floor in terms of NC Storm. It looks like the BFL prep team is happy in the half court. Mikey. Off balance shot, no good. Tipped out there, who wants it? BFL prep does, and they're running. Now pull up right side, no good. Long rebound, who wants that? Now to hit ahead. Here's the opportunity for the lob. Nice reverse move and a finish.
Good patience by Allen Speck, taking that additional dribble and laying that one in. Rim attacker, improved shooter. Coach McCarthy calls him the heart and soul of this club.
Mikey wants to blow by. Gets one up.
Wow.
That will count, I do believe, and a foul it will.
Wow. The whistle came a little late, but Mikey says it really doesn't matter to me. Watch me attack, draw the contact. Yes. How did he make that shot?
Strength, upper body strength. Rare in a sophomore. Just finished up his sophomore campaign.
He says, I want to be the best, Charles. Those are his words. I want to be the best. And he's well on his way.
Cut the lead to 11. Now they need a defensive stop inside the final 2 minutes. Manchero in the post. Oh, the iron unkind.
Will they get the stop that you mentioned, Charles? The problem is there's a 6'10" player down there named Paulo Banchero who doesn't really care about NC Storm trying to get back into this ball game. So he just attacks the rim, knows he has the size and the confidence and the strength, and goes right at the rim.
Substitution back in the game. Trey Green returns.
It was 18-13 at the end of one quarter, and BFL has just exploded here in the second. Storm are going to have to get defensive stops and try to get something going in transition because BFL has been stifling them in the half court.
There's a 3 ball by Allensbeck.
His first 3 of the game, and boy, did they need that. He and cousin Riley Allensbeck, number 10 of NC Storm, but put their heads together here and put some of that leadership to use and see if they can come back in this game.
There's another defensive stand as we near the 1 minute mark. Drive and a kick. Wide open 3. No good. Nice rebound, and now Green from deep. This North Carolina team is awfully close to lining it up. They just can't seem to find the range.
Yeah, they're getting 2 good looks there on that last possession.
Christophilus wanted the foul, and now they're running again. Green got his pocket picked, and now they're breaking out. Christophilus to the rack.
Green probably should have chest passed that one off to the right there and given it up to Allensbeck. And of course, the BFL is going to make you pay when you don't finish, when you've got pretty good opportunities to do so.
16 points for Christophilus to lead all scorers in this contest, and maybe a guy that you saw as a sharpshooter in the highlights has certainly produced.
And it's not just him spotting up. He's fearless. He attacks the rim. And he can even score coming off a screen. He can score setting himself up, stopping and popping. He can score in a multitude of ways. You know, one of the things I love about these kinds of games, too, as well, is heroes always emerge. That unsung hero, that guy you don't expect. Everybody's talking about Banchero. Everybody's talking about Mikey Williams, and they should. And here is John Christophilus, who gets a lot of praise. He's headed to Creighton, so he's no slouch. But here he comes rising up with 16 points in the first half.
And then Josh Bullock on the other side, the leading scorer with 6. So surprises all around in this one as we wind down our opening half of basketball. Matchup of East Coast versus West Coast. Bernal picking up the personal foul. Will lead to a timeout on the floor. Like a 30-second timeout is what's called here. So we'll keep it right where we are. And again, when you think in terms of what we've seen so far as we check out another replay.
And here it is. I mean, Paulo, his strength, his step-back ability, so smooth. Oh, that's pretty. It is rare you see that kind of talent at this level. He says, you know what? Get away from me. I'm going to take him one-on-one. You may try, but you will not succeed against me.
Jonathan Curtis with the height. Paulo with all the rest of it. Confidence.
I dare say, though, it's been a bit of a quiet half. can we say, for Paulo and Mikey?
Absolutely.
A bit surprising, but once again, when you've got players you can lean on and score for you, you don't always feel the pressure to have to produce, but maybe that pressure turns up in the second half for NC Storm.
Christopoulos with another pull-up leads to a break opportunity. And a miss inside as Riley misfired on the pass from Haggerty, and that's the way the half ends. A 10-point game at the break. It's the North Carolina Storm, NC Storm trailing at the break. Mikey Williams' squad trails by 10, 35-25.
I tell you what, a marvelous first quarter especially. Christopoulos set it all up. He got the early start, kicked things into high gear. And BFL has really kept their feet on the necks of NC Storm.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the first half, check out some highlights as well. And you are locked and loaded into the battle at the Rock. We're in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and you're watching exclusive coverage of it. It continues in just a little bit.
COVID has impacted my game a lot.
And it changed my whole mindset on the game of basketball.
I'm looking at people over COVID, and there's people in the gym and there's people not in the gym.
You never miss a good thing until it's gone.
That break, they gave me, I actually look back at my past game, my past work ethics.
You can't get in the gym as much as you want all day, so you have to find creative ways to still get better and work on your game.
It re-inspired me. It brought that love back out, that little kindergarten love from just coming out there and just wanting to hoop once again.
I looked at COVID as, okay, I'm going back to the lab, but I can really lock in. Ain't nothing going on. If there ain't nothing to do, I can really lock in right now.
Well, it gave me a certain break to actually look at how basketball has affected my life in general.
Nothing's guaranteed. We can get shut down right now, so we're going to appreciate every practice, every second, every game, and be thankful that we're allowed to play.
This is Tamara Brown with SUVtv at the CP3 Rising Stars Camp.
SUVtv's 2019 NBA Draft Day coverage.
Anthony Edwards Collegiate Decision, presented by the Georgia Hoop Circle on SUVtv.
SUVtv brings the game to the audience.
You give a better focus on the actual game at hand. Sometimes you could tell it's just a running camera by itself sitting there, but with SUVtv, it's more of a personal experience.
Just the exposure, being able to see games that you normally wouldn't be able to see, not only here locally, but across the country.
Those angles make you pick up different things as a coach, as an evaluator. They're giving you great quality. Nobody talking in the background. I think it brings basketball to the forefront.
Whether it's a family member was in a different state, they can watch the game, or just bringing in more coverage for these players, or if it just allows us to raise more money for something like Susan G. Komen. And so I think this event has grown because you guys have been a part of it the whole entire time.
SUVtv has given a different light to kids that don't always get the best exposure.
The commentary that goes along with the games, I think, is always interesting.
Touchdown.
Oh, yes, sir. it brings something to the table that no other streaming aspect can bring, no matter how hard they try right now.
Game time, Avian Williamson
at the buzzer.
That is how you get the Peachtree Corners Invitational started. And that will do it. Thanks for joining us.
Bolt 24 keeping it real with Damian Lillard.
It pays to have range, like Bolt 24 antioxidant with vitamins A and C, Restore with 10 grams of collagen, and Energize with caffeine. All kinds of range.
BFL leads it at the break 35-25, and welcome back inside the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. As I'm Charles McNeil along with Ahmad Brody. Ahmad, we got a chance to watch some outstanding basketball in that first half, but something was a little missing in our guard matchups. Two guys that we featured, we talked about ad nauseum coming into this game, but really one of them only led up to what we thought would be outstanding play in that first 20 minutes of action.
You're right. So we came in talking about Paulo versus Mikey, and it turned into the Christopoulos show for BFL Prep. John Christopoulos scoring 16 points in the first half. Really could not be stopped. And you're looking at him right here. He's been able to put the ball on the floor and attack, set up. He knocks this one down from the wing. He loves the wing, and he knocks that one down and lets everybody know it. Meanwhile, Paulo Banchero, one of the guys that we've been talking about, sets him up again. And so what you're seeing and what you've seen in the first half is Christopoulos' ability to score, being set up on the pass, putting the ball on the floor, and letting you see his confidence. He has a very sweet stroke as well, Charles, and it's really been giving NC Storm trouble. They cannot stop him. They don't have an answer for him. And on the other side, I'm sitting here, and we were examining the game and saying, Mikey Williams has only scored 2 points. And so I believe that we're going to see him really blast off in this second half, because I think he sort of feels that The spotlight is on him. The moment is now. And if they're going to win this game, he's got to perform at an extremely high level. I'm talking about 15, 20, 25 points in this second half, I believe, because based on what we've seen in the first half, BFL Prep's offense is sort of running like clockwork a little bit. And so NC Storm, they've got to force some turnovers and maybe try to get the ball in transition, because we've seen in the first half that BFL Prep has been able to slow them down some and force some turnovers and really stifle a talented NC Storm team. Another highlight from the first half has been Mikey Williams, and this is his only bucket here. You see it again, and he attacks, working on Trey Blasingame there. Just goes right on him. A ton of contact there, hangs in the air and knocks it down. So we're going to keep our attention on him. We're going to keep focusing on him, but he's going to have to really take his game to another level if the NC Storm club is going to not take down this BFL Prep team.
8 players have scored for the NC Storm, who trail this one at the break, so balanced scoring for them. Leading scorer is Josh Bullock. He has 6 points in the game, along with A.J. Allensbach. He had 7. All the other players with 3 points or less. Curtis with 3. Allensbach, that's Riley, with 2. Clay Robinson with 2. Trey Green with 2. We talked about Mikey Williams with his lone field goal. And Shane Fernald, he has 1 point. On the other side for BFL Prep out of Seattle, the Seattle, Washington area, taking care of business for them was John Christophilus with 16 big points in that first half. Paulo Banchero has 7. It's 6 points in the game for Darian Williams, and then 4 points for Shane Noel, and 2 points in the game for Jordan Hansen. So
I'm sorry there, Charles. I've got Banchero with 7 points and 9 rebounds. So double-doubles have been very kind to him of late. And looks like he's well on his way to another one here in this game tonight.
And don't be surprised if he explodes in this second half. And we touched on the fact that he's going to be matriculating at Duke on Tobacco Road in the coming season under Coach K. As now another one by Christophilus to open up the second half. Says not so fast, all this Banchero talk. I might have to join him down there.
And that was a finger roll and a beautiful one. Christophilus having another marvelous start to the second half, just like he did back in the first.
Like that matchup, a Blasingame head-to-head against Mikey Williams, 1 versus 1. And now Trey Green from the top. Didn't want to settle, kicked it off to Curtis. Curtis now kicks it back out. Shot clock down to 7. Bullock, spin move, inside and a beauty. Curtis inside for 2, and he has 5 in the game. And here comes North Carolina, the NC Storm, on the board to open up the second half.
Curtis showing good confidence there in the post. I love what McCarthy says about him. His head coach says he's not clunky. He's 7 feet, but he can move. He can demand attention inside.
From the perimeter. Mama, there goes that man. Christophilus with the deep ball. That is number 4, if you like. But Mikey with the answer.
And I think Mikey is starting to realize here, we can't really slow Christophilus down. I've got to take over here and start to create, draw contact, use the full arsenal, and try to get NC Storm back into this game.
Well, this is a battle. You would expect an arsenal like that.
How about the setup, though, by Shane Noel? Setting Paulo Banchero up, and he knows exactly what to do. Took 1 extra dribble to get closer to the rim.
Trey Green. Banchero said, don't mess up my double-double. Let's get that out of the way.
He said, I got about 5 inches on you, Trey. Just let me have that one.
Christophilus misfires, one of the rare misses for him. And Mikey on the run to Trey, who took his eye off the basketball, and it falls into the hands of a teammate.
Take another look at that last play. Great feed. Another marvelous pass. We've seen some fantastic passes tonight. Once again, Paulo with that extra dribble as he works on his defender, Josh Bullock, and knocks it down.
Stepping into a 3, which is strong, and now the fast break for Curtis. Ahead of the field. Curtis with the lay-in.
Very nice finish by Curtis. He heard the footsteps of Williams, but finished with confidence.
And he has to get back defensively and try to stop Banchero, and no bet on that one.
Fearless, taking it right in on Curtis. And Curtis has a college-ready body. That's one of the things McCarthy says about him. But no fear for Paulo Banchero taking it right in on him and banging home.
Rims out for Mikey.
That's sort of how it's been so far with NC Storm. Even back at the first half, they had some good looks from the perimeter, just wouldn't fall.
Christopoulos wide open three. His teammates were all standing. Strong drive and a foul inside, and that one will go against Williams.
And this is how NC Storm is going to charge back into this thing. I like the aggressiveness in the attack here. Here's the great pass there from Mikey Williams, and once again Bullock going right at the body of his defender, drawing that contact. That's how you get back in this thing. NC Storm has got to string together 2 or 3 defensive stops just to give their offense a little more confidence and energy. When you're able to make consecutive stops, it really gets your entire team. The bench gets into it, your team gets into it on the court, and it really helps sort of give you another extra spark to propel you forward and chip away at the lead.
Bullock with a pair of free throws. He's now 5 of 6 from the line. 8 points in the game.
Storm ran a zone.
And that's a block shot on the perimeter by Curtis, but rebounded inside or pulled in. Leads to a Christopoulos wide open three.
And that's the danger. You play a zone, it always opens you up for offensive rebound opportunities. And if you leave Christopoulos even open for a second, he's going to make you pay.
He's got 24 points in this game.
My gracious. They call the foul there, and here's another look at the three. Swish. It's so demoralizing when you feel like you've gotten a stop. McCarthy switches things up, and it's not really what he wants to do. And talking to him earlier, he says, we believe we're a good man-to-man defense team. But when you're down 14 points, you try to make some changes and make some adjustments, and they still can't get the result they desire as Christopoulos knocks down another three.
Christopoulos now with a steal. He's going to pull up. Why not? Good rebound by Curtis. Green from Mikey. Green losing control of his footing. Now Mikey on the baseline. Gets his pocket pick by Blasingame. Paulo with the pull-up. Left side. Look at that hustle all the way to the floor.
Shane Noel, what hustle there, trying to claim that loose ball. Paulo fires it up. And look at Shane. Let me go up and over Josh Bullock and fight for that loose ball.
Great job with no contact on the play. As they went to the floor, we had a whistle and timeout on the floor. It comes with 3:13 left to play in the third period. A 14-point advantage for BFL Prep out of Seattle as they've been in control from the start.
It is rare that you see a player at this level show that much confidence shooting the basketball. We take another look here at this fantastic action, and that's what I mean. Christopoulos, the confidence is sky high. He gets set up with a pass here. We almost lost him, but watch him come right into your living room and finish that one at the rim. And then a setup by Noel. He's open in the corner. NC Storm is scrambling defensively. And he says, not only can I knock it down from the outside, I can take it to the rim and lay it in with a finger roll.
And again, we talk about Charlotte and the short proximity. There is Michael Jordan. He had a nice little finger roll game in his day.
Don't see too many finger rolls too much now.
No.
Charles?
Not many at all. But again, it comes back around in cycles, so Christopoulos doing his best effort to bring that back in vogue. And with performance like this, we might see much more of that in the near future. Off the inbounds. Banchero. Oh, he lost them and put it in off the glass.
And that's just fancy footwork. It's another dimension to his game. Not only can he drive and work on you, but when he's down in the post, he knows how to keep his footwork controlled without traveling.
6 points in the quarter, 13 points overall. And now Christopoulos with the lob. Oh, it's Banchero.
And you knew at some point one of those was coming. The athleticism he's got, at some point he was going to elevate high.
And Josh Bullock with the three-pointer. And the answer, he's got 5 in the quarter, now 11 points of the game. That three ball by Noel came up shy. Green trying to find the range as he drives, gets in deep, goes with a reverse move, and that was kept alive. Smart play as Allensbach with the finish on the weak side.
Allensbach is a great rebounder. He attacks the rim. He's a double-double machine as well.
Had to get out defensively that time was Fernald, and now they're running all the way to the rack, and a short pull-up, and he finds the range.
So you get a stop. You get a bucket, and now maybe the energy starts to move and the momentum starts to move in the direction of NC Storm.
Clay Robinson picking up the pace. Banchero into the post. Shot attempt no good. Good defense by Green, holding off Williams and reaching into the backcourt. And there's a foul as Banchero holding his side.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe it happened on this bucket right here. Doesn't look like it, but nifty move, nifty footwork to get that finish on the inside. And then here comes BFL Prep again in transition. Here you go, brother. The finish, beautiful.
So lead is down to 11. Despite the highlight film that is Paulo Banchero. Down low, nice look and a finish. Riley with the field goal inside. That's his first field goal here in the second half. Cuts the lead to 9.
Great pass by Bullock, and here you go. We just talked about it. You got to get back defensively and guard your man there. But NC Storm, they've got some energy going now.
Nice pump. Noel showing the range.
Shea Noel is an Arizona commit. He's on his way to the Wildcats, and his brother, as that one's turned over, his brother is a Minnesota Timberwolf, drafted in 2019, so he's keeping it in the family. His brother Peyton, as you see, the three-pointer knocked down there by Shea Noel, and they talk a lot about him on the defensive end and his ability to set the table offensively, but he shows there, I'm not just a point guard who sets up the offense. I can knock him down when I need to.
Dribble penetration. A shot put up there by Arrington, no good, but there's a whistle. Malik Arrington will go to the line for the first time.
Haven't heard a lot from Arrington tonight. I don't believe he has scored, but unselfish player, no more of as a distributor, but willing and fearless to put the ball on the deck and try to attack the rim as well. The level of talent on the floor just has really made this game fun. And it seems like every time NC Storm tries to get 2 steps forward, BFL Prep knocks them back 3.
They're taking advantage of those opportunities from the charity stripe. They've only missed 2 thus far in this ball game, BFL has. Oh, open man was Fernald. He gets it. Goes up over the top of Christopoulos, and there's a whistle and a foul.
Curious whistle there. I'm kind of surprised nothing was called on the inside on the initial contact. If you look here, Christopoulos takes it, maybe a bit of a flop there, but nothing was called initially. They eventually called that foul on Christopoulos, but took a bit longer than I thought it would.
So all of Fernald's scoring thus far has been at the line.
Mikey Williams not in the game right now. Banchero isn't either. I don't think that'll last too much longer as we move towards the fourth quarter here.
In the game against Ypsi Prep back in early February, Fernald was a welcome addition for a Lake Norman High School as they came in, and he provided much needed deep shooting and a little bit of dexterity on a beautiful reverse he had in that game. Had 9 in that first half. If his makes, we've got an 11-point game as we wind down to the final seconds. I don't think they realized it. And that shot will go up after the buzzer. So we played 3 quarters from the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and we have an 11-point game.
It's a great pass. The setup there for Riley Allensbach. They're going to need more of that, NC Storm is, if they're going to get back into this ball game. And a very impressive sort of a leaning jumper there, rolling around and going down for Clay Robinson, from whom we've not heard a lot this evening, but he makes that one go. And this is what NC Storm is going to need. Can they force turnovers and get the ball in transition? That'll be a key in this fourth quarter.
This is the battle at the Rock. Fourth quarter right around the corner. Inside the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center, Charles McNeil and Ahmad Brody, we're happy to have you alongside for the fourth and final period of this one. Both teams scoring 20 points in that quarter, and we saw the athletic trainers working on Paulo.
Looks like we mentioned it towards the end of the third quarter. He was holding on to his right side there. I'm not sure if that's why he's being looked at right now, but he is grimacing, and he does appear to still be in some pain. Definitely something to watch here in the final 8 minutes.
NC Storm down by 11, and they need to get off to a fast start in this fourth period.
Still no Mikey on the floor here for NC Storm.
But it doesn't matter, as that is Riley Allensbach with the field goal. 6 points for him, and he gets back defensively to alter that shot. So the youngster Allensbach paying dividends for his team as they get the ball up the floor.
Here's another look at it. The catch, good footwork, good balance, good strength, showing strong hands down there on the inside, and finishes for the 2. It's back down to 9 here. Can NC Storm keep chipping away? See if they can get something towards the basket.
Do you like that? Oh. Aggressive move it was by Robinson.
That's happened on more than one occasion. Good looks, even 3-point buckets that haven't fallen for him.
That one rattled out. Excellent hustle and last touch by BFL.
This is a window here for NC Storm. These next 2 or 3 minutes, I believe, are crucial. We'll see how long they can go before they really start to slip into this, chip into the lead, I'm trying to say. That doesn't help when you pick up a travel. I didn't really see that travel call there as it's called on Josh Bullock. But let's take a look at it here. That's the previous. Yeah, I don't see a traveling violation there, Charles, but it's a turnover nonetheless.
Double team. They're trying to trap into the corner. That extra pass. Shot attempt no good, and now Mikey on the open floor. 1 on 3. It doesn't matter. Mikey Williams showing why he is a human highlight film.
He barely saw the rim, Charles. That's a fantastic shot.
Just his 3rd field goal. He's got 6. And that loose ball is last touched by BFL.
Christopoulos coming back in the game for BFL Prep. But look at Mikey here. He barely sees them. He sort of slings it. It's a line drive shot that he bangs off the glass for 2.
Unbelievable. 7-point game, as close as they've been since the opening quarter play. Now to pull up. Good rebound. Robinson kept it alive, and now they're reset with Bullock.
It's rebounds like that. It's why McCarthy calls Robinson. He says he is a dog, and that's a compliment.
Mikey Williams spun into the defender, and there's a lob. Nice up and under move and a finish.
Good patience that time by Pat Lanier. Got a good feed from Sylvester. I think that's his first 2 points of the game.
And there's a follow-up down the other end by Riley.
Allensbach has been so active at the rim tonight, and boy has NC Storm needed it. Good attack here, taking it into the body, and Allensbach is there to clean up the miss from Clay Robinson. He's been very active around the rim all evening long.
This is the battle at the Rock Hill, South Carolina.
So here's a critical moment now, Charles. It's a 7-point game. They've finally gotten this thing past 9, and now there's the window here. Mikey's on the floor, and Paulo is not. Let's see if NC Storm can continue to chip away with Paulo still a little bit banged up from what we saw earlier. And what a fantastic play this was from earlier tonight. Christopoulos sharing that one with Paulo, and then a bit of a leaner, off-balance, roll-around home jumper there for Clay Robinson of NC Storm.
You touched on the prolific scorer that is Paulo Banchero. 15 points he's been held to, but coming into this game, he was on fire.
He was indeed. You're talking about 38, 42, and 29 in his last few games. He has reached that double-double. He's at 15 and 11 here, but he's still a bit banged up. Don't see him on the court. We saw a shot of him just a moment ago being looked at by the athletic trainer. He's not out there.
Yeah, he's made his way back to the bench, was part of the group, encouraging his teammates, and that's often a major part of your game as well, as he'll start to move toward the next level and have maybe a little bit of time with the veteran group there at Duke.
BFL Prep trying to slow this thing down and set something up. We've seen some zone from NC Storm. They're trying to mix it up defensively, give some different looks.
Christopoulos. His shot is short of the mark. Kept alive by Lanier to Christopoulos. And then the follow-up, two-handed slam. CC. Losay.
I heard the NC Storm head coach McCarthy a moment ago saying, grab the ball, begging for those rebounds. They're so critical. Just hurt the NC Storm team just a moment ago.
Christopoulos. That is a 2-point field goal.
It's gotten to the point now where I don't even expect him to miss when he takes a jumper.
Leaner. 11-point game now, was just down to 7. Dribble penetration. That's AJ on the drive. Ball deflected out of his hands, but it'll be retained by NC Storm.
Good job defensively by Losay there, and he sets up Christopoulos, who pulls up with great confidence and a nice stroke. We've seen it all night. 26 points for him.
11-point game. And we've got a discrepancy on the shot clock, I do believe. The lead referee discussing things with the scores table. And you see who's there in the distance.
He's on his way, isn't he? Paulo is on his way. Try to seal this game for BFL Prep.
His coach, Barry Jones, said, you forgot about Paulo. And now he can come back into the game. That'll allow him to come in as he will give a little dap to Malik Arrington.
I want to see how he moves around here. That right side a bit banged up. You saw him grimace once. Let's see how explosive he is on the offensive end for BFL Prep.
And I do think you were right on that first tip attempt, not the dunk that followed, but the tip in was where I think he pulled something. And now he'll start from the perimeter, just on the floor after minutes on the sidelines. And has a nice step over 3, and it's good. Woo. That's CC.
CC Losay typically lives at the rim, but he says, I can step back and swish him just like my buddy John Christopoulos can.
He's got their last 5. And it leads back up to 14. Mikey with the answer. And 1.
NC Storm still knocking on the door here. They're not giving up. Good job by Michael Williams of securing the ball. The help defense from Christopoulos was late, and he just takes a contested jumper and just knocks it down right in the face of his defender. Rises up and drills it.
Williams has 8. Now make it 9 points in the game. Leading scorer for his squad is Josh Bullock with 11. 8 points for Riley. And 9 points in the game for AJ. Banchero, no good. Mikey with the board. Now they're running. Curtis ahead of the field. Curtis with the two-hand.
A 7-footer who can explode and take it to the rim with aggressiveness. NC Storm, they're still alive here. BFL has been consistent in keeping this lead, but the Storm still have some life here.
Curtis went for the steal. Banchero goes in hard, and he'll go to the line as he starts to grimace once again.
Yeah, I wanted to see how he would move there. He took a lot of contact from Allensbeck. Allensbeck is going to come in on the help defense and bangs their right side. Didn't see him grimace there, but he is at the line to try to knock down 2. I mentioned that we've talked about it throughout the game. He's on his way to Duke, and boy, Duke has been just producing amazing NBA talent of late. And it's hard not to see Paulo Banchero. Don't want to get too far ahead, but it's hard not to see Paulo Banchero following in the footsteps of recent Duke greats.
Trey Green misfired on that one. Uncharacteristic night for Trey Green.
Yeah,
held to
not
just
his
2
best
points
night.
in this one.
Yeah, not his best night for sure. You can see him sort of drop his head a moment ago like, it's just not been my evening. But even with that, you're only down 11. They got it down to 7. I think that's as close as they got it before BFL Prep got back to the rim and knocked something down.
That was a strong drive by Williams. He drew a foul and will go to the line.
Because number 55, AJ Allensbeck, that's his 4th, team's 3rd.
So AJ just picked up his 4th foul. One more.
Just had a shot of Banchero talking to his coach, but Darian Williams, there's another shot. Darian Williams, he's a go-getter. Good post-up game. Haven't seen a lot of that on display here tonight. Can pull up. Mid-range game is strong. Very confident 6'6" junior.
So 7 points for Williams. Extends the lead now backed up to 12.
NC Storm needs to be quick but not rushed.
Beautiful drive. Around the horn he went. And finishing that off is AJ Allensbeck.
That's why they call him the heart and soul. He's got 11 points now in double figures, and when you need a basket, really for good stretches in this game, Allensbeck has been delivering for NC Storm.
That's short of the mark.
Not the best shot for BFL Prep there.
Mikey. A little levitation for you.
About the hang time there, hanging in the air long enough to get that finger roll to roll around. It's down to 8 now.
He's in double figures. He's got 11. This is Mikey time. You've heard of Dame time. This is where the stars shine the brightest. Christophilus fouled by Green.
I love how Christophilus knows to move without the basketball. Here's another look at Mikey Williams and the attack. Oh, that finger roll, the beautiful handles on display. And even in a game of this nature where it's really been difficult for NC Storm to fight back and get into it, Mikey Williams still showing the confidence to get to the rim when he wants to.
Christophilus made the first, missed the second. He's got 27. 68-59.
Really good look there from Trey Green. They really needed that one. And you could see the air sort of go out of the balloon there for NC Storm. That was a big shot that they couldn't knock down.
Wide open 3. Blasting game couldn't make it work. Mikey, and there's a steal. Hit ahead, Mikey. Pass to Curtis, ball stripped, and off Curtis' knee and out of bounds.
What a great defensive play by Shane Noel, knocking that ball off the knee of the NC Storm player. Here's another look at Mikey giving it up, and a great defensive effort by Noel, knocking that one right off the lap of Jonathan Curtis.
It was 1-on-3 defensively as he brings it in the front court now. And the NC Storm forced to call or commit a foul to stop the clock inside the final minute. And that's the 5th against AJ.
I cannot overstate how intelligent a play that was just now, though, by Shane Noel. And it's plays like that that end up landing you right with the Arizona Bearcats. That was a fantastic defensive effort that really took the air out of NC Storm. And now the foul fest begins.
Jonathan Curtis, that's his second, team 7, team 6.
So 16 foul, one more. Depending on the rules here, it could be 10 for free throws. Let's find out, as that's number 7.
It is time for the 1-and-1, Charles.
They will allow him to go to the line.
I have to give BFL Prep a lot of credit. Long team. Christopoulos, even from the first quarter, just proved that he could not be stopped. And all Banchero had to do was add his 17 points and 12 rebounds. And even with that performance, the star of this game by far has been John Christopoulos, really from the first quarter on. A surprisingly, I won't say quiet night, but a quieter night than we expected coming into this one from Mikey Williams.
Mikey Williams counted in a foul.
And as soon as I say that, he goes straight to the rim, telling me to be quiet. Working right on Trey Blasingame, the blow by. Blasingame picked up the foul, but Mikey picked up the 2.
And Mikey with a 3-point play gives him 14 now. 2 for 3 at the line tonight for Mikey Williams. Shot the ball extremely well in the pregame warm-ups. I thought he was going to have a big night offensively. Yet to knock down a 3-ball.
How much of a difference have you seen in this game tonight versus when you saw him in Greenville?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that factor in. Obviously, that first contest at Greenville was about 2,200 fans packed into the Bob Jones University Arena. And the Davis Fieldhouse was electric on that afternoon of basketball in early February. Of course, the teams also were still in the hunt for their respective state championships, and everything was on the line. There have been much ballyhooed matchup. You know, today we have a select crowd still kind of gathering in as Mikey pulls up again from deep. Nice tip in there by Curtis, and last touch by BFL.
I do believe it can be a little more difficult, though, to sort of play yourself into your own energy when you don't have that raucous crowd to really make things a little more hype for you.
Well, I was going to ask you, the ironic thing in this is, you know, this year is the year where players are used to playing without a crowd. Mikey scoring again there. So with that, he's got 16. So if any year you could rev yourself up despite a crowd, it would be in that environment. But, you know, the Storm, as we said, tempo, I think, was really the key in this game as we got a chance to talk about the ebbs and flows of a game. It certainly seemed like BFL had their way with the tempo.
Really from the start, too. BFL Prep established themselves pretty early. Christopoulos, half-court offense, going up and down the floor in transition. They made it pretty clear that we can play at either pace, and we can force NC Storm into our style and beat them at it.
Yeah, once you get a lead, it's hard for the other team to rev you up. As Noel knocks down another one.
And if you're NC Storm, it's just demoralizing when you, no matter how hard you try, you can't get back into the game. You keep getting close. You knock it down to 11. You knock it down to 9. You knock it down to 7, and you can't get any closer. It's really deflating as a team when you can't bust through that glass ceiling.
Noel misses the second. He's got 8 in the game. Final seconds of this one. Fernald for 3. And that's the Fernald we know and love from the prior battle, and they'll call a timeout with 4 seconds left in a 5-point game.
Pretty quiet night for Fernald, but he makes some noise here at a key moment, knocking down that 3-pointer. 5-point lead, 4 seconds left. Chances are very slim, I would say. But you got to give NC Storm some credit for fighting all the way to the end, despite the fact that BFL Prep has really sort of had a handle on this game since the beginning.
Yeah, I once did a game back in the day. Michael Jordan played against Reggie Miller in the playoffs, the NBA, and asked Reggie, what would it take for you guys to win the title? And he said, you need the second coming of Jesus to sit down on the bench with us. Mary Magdalene and the whole crew. If you get them and that 5, we might have a shot. That's one of the great quotes I think I've ever heard.
I missed that one, but I'm glad I heard it from you.
Yeah, look it up. I'm sure it's somewhere on YouTube from back in the day. But a good run it has been by the Storm. No quitting them, and we'll see them throughout the summer, I'm certain.
BFL Prep here, just hold on to the ball. No turnovers. Get the ball into the hands of a secure ball handler. Don't fumble around with it. Take your fouls and go to the foul line and salt this game away.
And we had a foul before the inbounds. And they're going to send Blasingame to the free throw line with 4 seconds remaining.
You see a lot of maturity in a team, too, when you can get a lead and really keep the lead for really all the game. BFL Prep is led essentially from wire to wire here. That's the earmark of a mature ball club when you can do something like that.
Trey had yet to score before that free throw.
A bit surprising, too. He has a good three-point stroke. But they haven't been hurt because Christopoulos has still been there to fill it up.
Now a 3-possession game, and that'll do it. Mikey Williams with the desperation heave. And this one is in the books. They played 4 quarters in the battle at the Rock, and it's the team from Seattle, BFL Prep, the victors, 74-67. We'll come back and give you our final thoughts and look ahead to what's coming up as we've been locked and loaded into the battle at the Rock. And I hope that you've enjoyed it. Great action, and we'll come back with highlights and the final scoring numbers and a whole lot more in just a little bit. Stay with us, everyone. Hill Sports and Events Center in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Armand Brody and Charles McNeil courtside with you, and the final score again. Congratulations goes out to BFL Prep as they took care of business, 74-67. And I'll tell you, Armand, it was one of those games that coming into it, we had a lot of excitement around the matchup, the premier matchup, Paulo Banchero and Mikey Williams. And BFL jumped out to a fast start, 18-13 in that opening quarter. They outscored them 17-12 in the second quarter. Halftime locker room, it was 35-25. And what were you thinking at that juncture?
I was thinking at that time that we would see Mikey Williams explode a little bit more, that he would really take control of this game. But we really didn't see him take off until late in the third quarter, going towards the fourth quarter. You see him here as he sort of slings that one in on a line drive, a bank shot. But it really was not Mikey's show. But I'll tell you whose show it did belong to, John Christopoulos. It was his show. You take a look here at Banchero as he makes the two happen inside. But even with some of his struggles with the right side injury that we saw from earlier in the game, it didn't matter all that much because this man right here, John Christopoulos, was available and he was knocking them down on the inside, on the outside. 27 points for him, and he was the MVP of this game tonight. Got a nice feed right here, tiptoes along the baseline, watches the contact coming his way and still is able to finger roll it home nicely. We saw his entire arsenal on display. It's why this guy is headed to Creighton. He'll pull up with a hand in his face and knock it down from the wing. It was a John Christophilus kind of night, and a big reason why BFL Prep came away victorious.
Let's go through the BFL Prep scoring. You mentioned Christophilus, the outstanding player in this game. He received the award for the most outstanding player in this contest with 27 points, 17 for Paulo Banchero. It was also 9 points in the game for Darian Williams, 8 points for Shane Noel, 5 points in the game for CC Losey, 2 points in the contest for Lanier, 2 in the game for Blasingame, and 1 in the contest for Arrington to complete their scoring. For North Carolina, the NC Storm, it was Mikey Williams with 16 points, 11 points for Josh Bullock, and 11 in the game for A.J. Allensbach, 9 in the game for Jonathan Curtis, 8 in the contest for Riley Allensbach, 6 in the game for Shane Fernall, 4 in the contest for Clay Robinson, 2 in the game for Trey Green, and that completes the scoring for Patrick McCarthy's NC Storm team, who falls on this evening 74-67. What are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts, it's going to be wonderful to see these terrific players that we've seen here tonight, Creighton, Arizona, Duke, and more. These D1 schools are getting some amazing talent, and watching their progression as we go forward is going to be very fun.
And we encourage, of course, in this era where a lot of folks are thinking about maybe moving to an HBCU, getting that opportunity as well. Those HBCU teams certainly have a shot at some of this unclaimed talent.
A very good point, and we saw all of that on display during All-Star Weekend in the NBA, really representing HBCUs quite well.
Armando, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Likewise, sir.
Okay, for Mr. Brody, I'm Charles McNeil. It's been a pleasure to have you guys alongside, and looking forward to having you right back here next time. Have a great evening, good night, and God bless.